Hey guys, what's up? Here is Max. Everyone who's watching the latest videos here on the channel knows about the problems we are facing in order to continue the story of Dragon Ball Hakai. We're always talking to you about the financial difficulties we're having, and some people who are really fans of the story have donated a small part of their money to help us continue with the production of the manga. Our minimum goal to continue with the Dragon Ball Hakai manga has not yet been reached. But thanks to the help we've had so far, we managed to complete one more chapter of the story, Chapter 23. Although the resources we got were not enough to produce the manga the way it should, we managed to gather these few resources and produced one more chapter for you. Obviously, this doesn't mean that the manga production will return as it was, because as I said, we haven't reached the goal properly yet. But with the little we got, we are making this content available to you. If you want the Dragon Ball manga to really return, with chapters being made weekly, help us through our Patreon, and even with a very small amount, you can help us to return with the production of the Dragon Ball Hakai manga, in addition to have some benefits here on the channel. To learn more, click on the link in the video description. Well, now let's see what this new chapter of Dragon Ball Hakai has for us. Stay connected in the channel and let's go to the video. Hakai. Previously on Dragon Ball Hakai. When Goku finds the cocoon of Hero, the primordial beast that was hidden in Universe 6, he discovers that not only has he and his friends found the cocoon, but also the leader of the Celestial Mages, Odisu, the great mage of the elements. After Odisu kills Kiboru and injures Lei, Goku decides he will face this enemy alone, and so they begin a fierce fight that destroys Planet Chameleon and extends across Universe 6. Even after many attempts at victory, Goku is subjugated by Odisu and is taken by the mage to planet Earth of Universe 6. Odisu intends to make Goku release all of his God of Destruction power, such a power that the protagonist is trying to keep under control. Extremely drained, Goku barely has the strength to keep his energy of destruction under control, but he is forced to use more power when Odisu launches an attack that would destroy the Earth. When Goku uses such power, the energy of destruction takes control of his consciousness and starts a fierce fight against the mage across Earth. Such a fight that was causing a lot of damage to the planet. Pressured by Goku's conscience, the energy of destruction decides to leave the planet, and now he will no longer have restrictions to fight. What will happen to the universe now that the beast of destruction will no longer be contained by Goku's consciousness? Find out. Chapter 23. The destruction of the universe begins. After a long flight through the vacuum of space, Goku finally stops, and Odisu, who was chasing him, also stops. Odisu comments on the fact that the energy of destruction has left planet Earth, and comments that this is a sign that he is not as indifferent as he wants to appear. On reflection, Odisu says that indeed, this beast could have destroyed Earth a few times, but held back his power. He can only conclude that Goku's consciousness was not fully mastered. For Odisu, this is a shame, as it means he couldn't extract Goku's full potential, but the mage says he has already spent too much time on this fight, and from now on, he will fight to put an end to it. Odisu says this as he begins to emanate an intense flame aura. With a mischievous smile of someone who noticed something the mage didn't want, the energy of destruction says that Odisu is actually running out of options. And when Odisu asks what he means, he explains that after Goku destroyed Planet Chameleon and they fought in space, Odisu was forced to stop using the planet's natural elements and create those elements from his own power. And when he creates the elements, he expends almost twice as much energy as he does when he simply manipulates what is already there in nature. Odisu is very powerful and has a lot of energy to expend, but he also has a limitation because of a vessel, and the beast noticed this because it's something they have in common. In short, Odisu doesn't have as much energy left, and the fact that the beast left the planet and returned to space, where there aren't as many natural elements for the mage to use, will force him to expend a greater amount of energy, and that's why Odisu wants to end this fight quickly. After listening to all the remarks made by his opponent, Odisu admits that he is very perceptive. But it's not just him who's having this kind of problem. In fact, the energy of destruction doesn't have much energy to waste either, as Goku has used up a lot of the power of both of them before. And since the energy of destruction took over, spent a lot of power too, he's also out of time. The beast agrees with the mage, saying he couldn't be more correct. In that case, he will destroy Odisu with all his might. Both fly towards each other, ready to restart the battle. Universe 7, Planet Earth. Beerus is on the celestial platform as he senses the battle taking place in the other universe. He admits that Goku's opponent is powerful, but wonders if Goku is really going to allow his entire universe to be destroyed by his own power. As Goku and Odisu exchange intense blows, vibrations spread throughout the universe, and Lei feels it with great concern. Champa says the impact of their blows is resonating throughout the universe. He explains that until now, even though they were using an extraordinarily high level of power that could destroy the universe, they had been controlling and focusing their attacks in a way that wouldn't do as much damage to the universe. But now Goku's power is not being controlled as much as it should be, and the universe is suffering for it. Lei is saddened and surprised as she asks if Goku is causing all the damage to the universe. Champa confirms by answering yes and says that the other guy is still channeling his energy well, so that he doesn't cause harm to the universe. Goku, on the other hand, is increasingly maddened by his energy of destruction, which will not stop until he destroys everything he can. In a place far away from there, on the supreme planet of Universe 8, Likir is lying down while being watched by a Kaioshin assistant. This assistant is observing a large wound on Likir's chest, and after looking uses his powers to heal the destroyer, leaving the Hakaishin's body completely restored. But this comes at a cost to the apprentice, who faints in the same second. The Kaioshin named Iru observes that the apprentice spent so much energy healing Likir that he couldn't even remain conscious, and even then he couldn't completely restore to the destroyer because of his extraordinary power. But Likir doesn't want to hear about what happened to the Kaioshin's apprentice, he just wants to complain about the fact that the Kaioshin interrupted his fight. But Iru doesn't regret it, arguing that it was a losing battle and Likir knows it. At that moment, we see what happened in the recent past when Likir watched very scared the energy ring launched by Tyra coming towards him. In a moment, the slicing happened and the planet of the god of destruction of Universe 8 had been cut like butter. Likir apparently narrowly dodged the attack, but it cost him a very large wound in his chest, and that wound apparently left the fox god very badly. He looks up very worriedly and Tyra asks if he'll be able to dodge the next one. She creates another ring very excited, but at that moment someone appears behind Likir with a teleportation and touches the destroyer's shoulders, who, when looking, sees that it is his counterpart, the Kaioshin. Iru uses the Kai, taking both of them away. Tyra is very disappointed, as she was starting to get excited. Returning to the present moment, Likir complains about the disaster that is her taking Hatch and wonders what he will say to the other gods. Iru says that if he brought Hatch's cocoon, she would have come after them and killed them both. A defeat is better than death. The Kaioshin also reminds the Hakaishin that their lives are connected, so Likir must not make selfish decisions. Now, ignoring the Kaioshin and looking up at the sky, Likir thinks about Goku, wondering if he will be able to handle this enemy or will destroy his entire universe in vain. The fight between Goku and Odisu continues. This time, they are approaching what appears to be a sun. It's Goku who seems to be pushing Odisu there, and seeing an opportunity, he lands a kick on the mage, throwing him closer to the big star. Seeing an opportunity to use the environment to his advantage, Odisu points his hand at the sun and hurls the star towards Goku with telekinetic force. And as the star approaches, he disappears, leaving it to head towards Goku. The Hakaishin points his hand towards the sun that comes towards him, and then launches a wave of energy that hits the sun and destroys it in a second, causing a huge explosion that can be seen from far away in space. Afterwards, Odisu reappears behind Goku and tries an attack which is blocked. While having his blow blocked, the mage comments that the energy of destruction has just doomed an entire solar system, and that means he has finally set aside any remorse and is giving it his all. The beast of destruction warns the mage to prepare to see more. Universe 11. Topo and Dispo are down, still unconscious. Meanwhile, Jiren and Belmont are in the middle of an argument. Jiren says that the Hakaishin had no right to do what he did, and he was the one who should face Calamore. But Belmont replies that what is happening is above them, and there's no room for personal matters now. Who knows what could have happened to the universe if Jiren fought Calamore completely enraged, but Jiren questions the Destroyer about the results of his absence. The Pride Trooper has been mostly destroyed, and Calamore has escaped. They suddenly stop arguing when they notice something. Belmont notes what has caught his attention as Goku's power and says that for his power to be felt in Universe 11, it's because it's completely out of control. Jiren is silent, very serious and concentrated. In Universe 6, the fight continues. Odisu lands an elbow to Goku's face, who responds with a knee to the mage, and the confrontation ends with each landing a punch on the other and then moving away. Goku immediately points his hand against his opponent, releasing a great amount of power, which is revealed in a powerful wave of energy that scares even Odisu, who needs to escape the attack immediately, letting the destructive energy go towards a nearby galaxy and completely erase that galaxy from existence in a huge explosion. Odisu is getting more serious, admitting that this is starting to get out of hand, But the Beast of Destruction doesn't care about that and goes towards the mage, promising that he will destroy him. And not just Odisu, he will destroy everything. Lei notices the disappearance of a galaxy, the Western Galaxy. Champa, beside her, said, "This is nothing compared to what's to come." But Lei doesn't want to accept that and says that there must be something she can do. Champa says that Lei is useless trying to do something and that she will die if she tries. He claims that the only creature in the universe that could do something right now is the angel, but apparently Vados is not present. Lei seems to see some hope in this, as angels are very strong, and Vados can do something about that. But she remembers Goku told her that Vados had to leave, so she's not in the universe. Champa concludes that if she had to leave, it is probably because of a call from the High Priest. At this point, Lei concludes that she must be in the Omni King's palace, and says that she has never been there in person. But Kiboru showed her on a map once. Realizing what Lei was planning to do, Champa tells her not to think about it, but it's too late, and the Kaioshin uses her Hakai to disappear from there. Champa says this woman is crazy. If she invades a sacred meeting like that, she and the entire universe can be erased. Zeno's palace. Lei appears in the center of a corridor of angels, surprising them all. Seeing Vados, she's very happy and says that she needs her help, but then a voice calls for Lei, leaving her very scared. The one who called her was the Daishinkan, who doesn't have a very good expression. After getting the Kaioshin's attention, Daishinkan asks if she has any idea what offense she just committed. Only now realizing what she has done, Lei becomes very scared. What will happen now? Will Lei be punished by the Daishinkan and the Zenos? Will she get the help she needs? And what will happen to Goku and Odisu's battle? Find out in the next chapters of Dragon Ball Hakai. And that was chapter 23 of Dragon Ball Hakai. As you can see, the battle between Goku and Odisu seems to be very close to the end. Probably in the next chapters, we will already know the final result of the battle. Unfortunately, we still don't have any idea of when chapter 24 of Dragon Ball Hakai will be produced, since we still haven't reached the minimum goal to continue with the production of the manga the way it should be. If you want to see the story continue as quickly as possible, collaborate through our Patreon. It won't be long before we get the numbers we need, and maybe your help will be definitive for the continuation of the manga. The link is in the video description, go check it out later. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget your like and subscribe to the channel as we become 200,000 subscribers. Until the next time, goodbye.